We have a list of suggestions of how to cope with having a loved one who has mental illness. It can be difficult living with a family member who has a mental illness. There are many others who share your difficulty. Most siblings and adult children of people with psychiatric disorders find that mental illness in a brother, sister, or parent is a tragic event that changes everyone's life in many basic ways. Strange, unpredictable behaviors in a loved one can be devastating, and your anxiety can be high as you struggle with each episode of illness and worry about the future. The illness of a family member is nothing to be ashamed of. Symptoms may change over time while the underlying disorder remains. You should request the diagnosis and its explanation from professionals. Mental health professionals have varied degrees of competence. You have a right to ensure your personal safety. Strange behavior is a symptom of the disorder. Don't take it personally. You may become less judgmental and self-centered. A better person. Living with a mentally ill parent or sibling means that you must develop a new definition of normalcy. This may require you to overlook or put up with certain behaviors that you would not accept in someone who did not have a mental illness. You also need to be patient. It takes time to adjust to a new normal. Be patient with yourself and your family member. Give yourselves the time you need to adjust to the situation. By learning about mental illness, setting boundaries, and taking care of yourself, you can cope with the challenges and make the most of this opportunity. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Don't be afraid to ask your sibling or parent if he or she is thinking about hurting him or herself. Suicide is real. Don't shoulder the whole responsibility for your mentally disordered relative yourself. It is important to be honest and open with them, but there are some things that you may not want to discuss, such as personal boundaries or triggers. You also need to be willing to enforce those boundaries if necessary. This can be difficult, but it is important to remember that you are not responsible for their behavior. The more you understand about mental illness, the better equipped you will be to cope with the challenges that come with it. There are many resources available to help you learn about mental illness. NAMI is a great place to start. They have a wealth of information on their website, as well as support groups and other resources. You can also reach out to other organizations for support and information. You will likely encounter stigma from an apprehensive public and may have to revise your expectations of the ill person. You may have to renegotiate your emotional relationship with the ill person. When you are taking care of someone with a mental illness, it is important to make sure that you are also taking care of yourself. Make sure to eat healthy, get exercise, and get enough sleep. And don't forget to take some time for yourself each day, even if it's just a few minutes. Taking care of yourself will help you be a better caregiver, and it will help you cope with the challenges of having a mentally ill parent or sibling. Acknowledge the remarkable courage your sibling or parents may show when dealing with a mental disorder. Generally, those closest in sibling order and gender become emotionally enmeshed, while those further out become estranged. Grief issues for siblings are about what you had and lost. For adult children, they are about what you never had. After denial, sadness, anger comes acceptance. The addition of understanding yields compassion. It seems impossible at first, but most siblings and adult children find that over time they do gain the knowledge and skills to cope with mental illness effectively. They do have strengths they never knew they had, and they can meet situations they never even anticipated. The needs of the ill person do not necessarily always come first. If you can't care for yourself, you can't care for another. It is important to have boundaries and to set clear limits. Just because a person has limited capabilities doesn't mean that you expect nothing of him or her. Hopefully this list will help you. You, not the ill person, are responsible for your own feelings. Inability to talk about your feelings may leave you stuck or frozen. You are not alone. Sharing your thoughts and feelings in a support group has been helpful and enlightening for many. NAMI has books, pamphlets, fact sheets, and tapes available about different illnesses, treatments, and issues you may have to deal with, and you can join one of the 1,000 to 100 NAMI affiliate groups throughout the nation. If you find it difficult to come to terms with your siblings or parents' mental illness, know that you're not alone. A good start in learning to cope is to find out as much as possible about mental illness, both by reading and talking with other families. Here are some things to remember that should help you as you learn to live with mental illness in your family. You cannot cure a mental disorder for a parent or sibling. No one is to blame for the illness. Mental disorders affect more than the person who is ill. Despite your best efforts, your loved one's symptoms may get worse or they may improve. If you feel extreme resentment, you are giving too much. It is as hard for the parent or sibling to accept the disorder as it is for other family members. Acceptance of the disorder by all concerned may be helpful, but it is not necessary. A delusion has little or nothing to do with reality, so it needs no discussion. Separate the person from the disorder. It is not okay for you to be neglected. You have emotional needs and wants, too. It is absurd to believe you may correct a biological illness, such as diabetes, schizophrenia, or bipolar disorder with talk, although addressing social complications may be helpful. You are not a paid professional caseworker. Your role is to be a sibling or child, not a parent or caseworker. It is natural to experience many and confusing emotions such as grief, guilt, fear, anger, sadness, hurt, confusion, and more. Eventually, you may see the silver lining in the storm clouds, your own increased awareness, sensitivity, receptivity, compassion, and maturity. In addition to the above, we would like to add a few more points to consider. Learning about mental illness is essential for those who have a mentally ill parent or sibling. Setting boundaries is also important when you have a mentally ill parent or sibling. Finally, don't forget to take care of yourself. Having a mentally ill parent or sibling can be challenging, but it can also be an opportunity for growth. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video and comment below with any suggestions you have for us.